Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has once again flouted social distancing rules. This time, despite the court ruling which asked him to wear a mask during all his public appearances. The right-wing politician shunned all kinds of protective gear and greeted his supporters amid the pandemic. During one of his political visits to the state of Minas Gerais in southern Brazil, President Bolsonaro met with hundreds of his right-wing fans. He also completely ignored the court ruling and broke all social distancing rules by greeting them without wearing any mask or protective gear. President Bolsonaro also appealed to the court order that mandated him to wear protective masks in all public gatherings. The Attorney General who appeared for Bolsonaro called the court's ruling an unnecessary interference. Bolsonaro, who called the pandemic a little flu, is known for repeatedly flouting social distancing rules. He has come under heavy fire for his handling of the pandemic. He has constantly rallied against lockdown measures and has argued that halting business and operations was unnecessary. As of now, the deadly coronavirus has infected more than 1.3 million and has killed more than 57,000 people in Brazil alone, making it the second most affected country in the world. In Spain, the pandemic has left the economy battered and the nation is set to take one of the world's biggest financial hits from the global health crisis. Thousands hit the streets of Spain demanding a collective rebuilding of the society to tackle the consequences of the pandemic. Demonstrators appealed to their government to initiate a collective rebuilding plan to combat rising COVID-19 issues. The rallies were called by workers' commissions and UGT unions in more than 60 towns and cities across Spain. The workers' unions are demanding an immediate and concrete measure to financially and socially reconstruct Spain's battered economy.
Estamos aquí porque queremos que el país se reconstruya, que haya un gran pacto de Estado, que esta pandemia no sea aprovechada políticamente para otra cosa que no sea reconstruir socialmente nuestro país. Y reconstruir socialmente nuestro país quiere decir hacer un gran pacto por los servicios públicos. Tenemos que mejorar los servicios públicos.
Spain is said to have one of the highest mortality rates from the COVID-19 infection, and economically the pandemic has affected the country so adversely that IMF has said that Spain will take one of the biggest financial hits. The World Economic Outlook has also predicted that Spain's economy will shrink by a staggering 12.8% this year, and the country's unemployment rate could hit 19% by the end of 2020.
El gobierno de España en realidad no estaba preparado como ninguno de Europa, pero el nuestro menos acababa de llegar para hacer frente a una pandemia como la que hemos tenido. Por eso también es muy importante que sepa que la ciudadanía le reclama que se prepare por lo que pueda pasar en el otoño, pero también que se prepare para que nunca más tengamos una pandemia, una situación como la que hemos tenido con tan pocos medios.
The unions have called for an end to political infighting and have requested the government and the opposition to work in unison. The demonstrators also called for proper strategy for economic recovery and demanded that public services be strengthened. In the last 24 hours, the country's health ministry reported 564 new cases, taking the overall tally to 248,469. The deadly virus also killed 3 more yesterday, bringing the total number of fatalities to 28,341.